Murshidabad, the BJP, including in a place like Shamsherganj. And why I say this, this could be a big story. In a place like Shamsherganj is where the maximum FIR deletions had also taken place. Remember, is where the maximum FIR deletions had also taken place. And a lot of BJP 6 to 7 vote in that.
So the mathematics that people always said about Bengal, so the mathematics that people always said about Bengal, and the political sense which was being contrasted with the math, and the political sense which was being contrasted with the math, holding up, the political sense is holding up, the story is holding up, the math is holding up, the corruption is holding up, the story is holding up, the math is clearly a fascinating, the math is flipped. So the traditional clearly a fascinating
that were there, that this Kolkata is going to be completely immune to the BJP's march. Kolkata is going to be completely immune to the BJP's march.
Absolutely, Padmaja, and that is the most interesting.
Absolutely, Padmaja.
If this trend carries on, then that will be the most interesting part of West Bengal election. That will be the most interesting part of West Bengal election. And I will see out of 11. And I will that's 3 out of entire Calcutta.
No, 3 out of South Kolkata.
3 out of entire Calcutta.
No.
Vocal about your warfare. Point number 1. Point number 2 I want to make is...
Pawan Khera, as you know, has been in the news over the last several weeks. He went underground, as it were, at least away from the lens of the camera, after the Assam police came for him. He's joining us this morning. Mr. Khera, I hope you're doing well. How are things first on a personal front, and then I'll get to the politics?
Well, absolutely fine, in fighting spirits, always in fighting spirits, and therefore very good.
Avatar and look is very different from anything that I've seen in a long time. You're very new avatar. Is that to confuse the police that was coming looking for you?
No. I was just taking my legal remedies. That's my right, and that's what I was doing.
Okay, we'll leave the legal case for a later time. At this moment, the big national picture, the BJP leading in West Bengal, looking set to form the government in the state, and shows really the audacity of ambition. If you keep at it, election after election after election, you can grow from 3 seats to 172 in a state which was considered mission impossible for the longest time from the BJP's lens.
Well, I would be so audacious as to start commenting on such early trends. I think for any responsible political being, activist like me, we need to wait for a couple of more hours in order to analyze and start talking about the results. These are trends, not results.
Okay, can I request you to turn the speaker off, bring the phone to your ear? I'm picking up a reverb. We'll be able to do this better. So if you can be our producer, live producer, just for a moment. Spend a moment also on Kerala. In Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan was trying to come back to power for the 3rd time. That doesn't seem to be happening. The UDF comfortably placed in the live analytics that we're seeing from Kerala. You've got the Congress comfortably placed. Is that giving you hope and succor? 82 leads for the UDF, out of which the Congress at this moment has 56, up 35 from the last time. Your ally, the IUML, has 22, up 7 for the last time. Make sense of Kerala and how it gives hope and succor for the Congress this morning.
Too early to celebrate or mourn. As I said, these are very early trends. I would not, as a responsible political worker, comment on either the so-called victories or the so-called defeats.
Okay, Veera Raghav has a question for you, Mr.
Pawan bhai, 99 for the TVK. The Congress did toy with the idea of going with the TVK. Was it a bad move? It certainly seems like a bad move in terms of numbers to have gone DMK, which is at 53 now, DMK plus. Should the Congress recalibrate its Dravidian Tamil Nadu reality?
Postmortems are not done on living creatures.
No,
right now the results are living, they are not dead yet. These are trends, not results yet. So let's not indulge into any postmortem, please.
Pavan bhai, good one. Pavan bhai, Shiv Arur here. Genuinely very good to see you back again on screen where you belong. But a question I want to ask you is about Mamata Banerjee in Bengal.
Thank you.
The Congress had made it very clear that she has opened the gateway for the BJP in Bengal, and that appears to have come true, at least as far as the trends are concerned, Pavan bhai. Good to see you.
Look, good to see you, Shiv, but trends are something which media should comment upon, and you're doing the right thing, but not responsible political people. I would not indulge into any comments on trends, whether they are from Kerala, which seem to be going in our favor, or from Assam, or from West Bengal, or any other state.
But Mr. Khera, one question about Assam in particular, because you led the Congress's, campaign, you led the Congress's attack on the incumbent chief minister there. But here it seems from these trends, and they are quite clear trends, 97 for the BJP, and right now the Congress is somewhere in the 20s. Do you think that those charges did not stick, that the BJP actually for the first time...
Let's wait. No, elections are fought on several issues. Let's wait for a couple of more hours before commenting on this.
But you stand by your allegations even now, all the allegations you made against Himanta Biswa Sarma.
I think today is not the day to discuss any of what we were discussing until yesterday. Today is another day, and we are discussing results and trends.
अच्छा, कुछ तो बता नहीं रहे हो आप, सब कुछ आप डॉज करो, तो ये बताओ जब आसाम पुलिस ढूंढ रही थी तब कर क्या रहे थे? हाउ डिड यू मैनेज टू स्टे अवे एंड द पीरियड लीडिंग पेट्री बेल, वही बता दो, और तो कुछ बता ही नहीं रहे आप.
नहीं, मैं तो अपनी जो कानून से राहत मिल सकती थी वो ले रहा था. जो इस देश के हर नागरिक का अधिकार है वो मैंने किया.
People are angry with the Congress in West Bengal, specifically the TMC, and again they kept saying, why did your party come in and attack the TMC? Things would have looked very different if the Congress hadn't muddied waters for the Trinamool Congress. Rahul Gandhi ji went and attacked Mamata Banerjee, called her the most corrupt.
I would like to repeat, let's not indulge into postmortems on something which is living.
No, but this is not about the trends. This is about the campaign which is already over.
So we'll call you back.
Okay.
We'll call you back. In a while, we'll call you back. Thank you very much, Mr. Khera, for joining us. Good to see you out fighting. At this moment, the big story is coming from Tamil Nadu. The biggest story is coming from Tamil Nadu, where you've got superstar Vijay, and remember there was such a hullabaloo when the NDTV team went and met him. The old Dravidian parties, Veera Raghav was asking, who is this nobody, why are you wasting your time, demeaning NDTV, demeaning the brand. It's ridiculous, because
I did ask you.
You didn't ask that.
I did ask you.
A lot of people
asked you.
Yeah, of course, you didn't. TVK at 104, ADMK at 75, DMK at 51, history being rewritten in Tamil Nadu.
Absolutely, it's changing, and the earlier thing that I was talking about, hung assembly, etc., might go for a toss. TVK may have a majority on its own, and I think the person who should do the dance is Pradeep Gupta. He's got another unpredictable outlier election spot on.
Narayan Lakshman, I remember, said, hey, this can't happen, it's not happening, the Hindu has it under control, DMK is winning. That didn't happen. TVK under your nose, sitting at 104 leads at this moment.
For the record, I didn't say Hindu has it under control, but it is very surprising, because for me, what is a big question is the future, because as several people said, including the Dravidian model itself has been questioned here, assuming this trend continues, because, for example, talk about women, Veera, the DMK had this policy where they had 1.31 crore women receiving 1,000 rupees a month, and they promised to double it. So that whole model has been gently moved.
No, let's, in my mind, this is clear. Okay, let's not confuse this with Dravidian model. This is dynasty politics, corruption,
it's a whole bunch of things.
Anti-incumbency that's been thrown away.
Yeah.
Vijay,
but I want to add a footnote.
Dravidian model.
A footnote here. I mean, I cede to the election experts, but I think only 2 rounds of counting are over.
Sure.
There can be up to 17 to 30 rounds. So
I agree with you on that.
A big hashtag.
No, but then Narayanan wants to make a point. Yes.
I saw a woman reporting saying that if DMK is to have dynastic politics, why appoint Udayinidhi, who's a son, rather than Kanimuri, who's a sister? So there is even a gender angle coming in. The young Tamilians are asking questions, hard questions, not only about dynastic politics, about corruption, but even about things like this whole succession plans as such.
The person happiest in our studio is Kanchan Gupta. He's settling in, feeling very pleased with where things stand, because at 178, ladies and gentlemen, the big story this morning is that you need to bring in the chai stop in a while, because Kanchan Gupta is ready to have a go at the Sandesh and the Mishti Doi. Congratulations, Kanchan da.
178, again, as I said, 2011 redux. Now, look, I would be very happy if your data team could show the performance along the border constituencies.
So I have a way in which I can do it. I can't really do what you're saying, but
I will tell you why.
No, I'll show you what I can do. Here's the point that Kanchanda wants to make. Can we bring the camera in closer? I'll try and show the point that Kanchanda wants to make. This is 2021 on your screen. The border constituencies are stark green, except in the north. The border constituencies are absolutely green. Look now, here are the border constituencies, including in southern West Bengal, which is considered to be the bastion of the Trinamool. Even in southern West Bengal, the border constituencies are turning saffron. And these are constituencies with a very strong minority population. Despite that, Kanchanda,
because over here, just 1 second, I will just explain what the point which I was trying to make earlier. I made this point, and people didn't quite agree with it. This is the impact which developments in Bangladesh have had on West Bengal politics. The fall of the Hasina government, the targeted attacks on Hindus, and Hindus in Bengal could never imagine that in this day, in this age, something like this could happen without Dhaka even lifting its little finger. The arrest of a monk, and it goes on and on. And these border constituencies are impacted the most because there is still some amount of exchange which happens. People come, people go, and the consolidation of the Hindu vote in these constituencies would be nearly 100%, and Hindus who were voting CPM, Congress, Trinamool would have all migrated to the BJP this time, and it was one grand coalition of Hindu votes.
I want to give a few names over here. I have checked about 7 districts in Murshidabad, all border seats. Shamsherganj, BJP is leading. Farakka, BJP is leading. In Raghunathganj, BJP is leading. Domkal, BJP is leading. Hariharpada, BJP is leading. Murshidabad, BJP is leading, but they already had this seat. The point is that in a place like, for example, Shamsherganj, this is where the Murshidabad riots of a year ago had taken place in April. And this can't just be about Hindu votes consolidating, because here you have a Hindu population of only 12% as opposed to an 88%. But this is also Shamsherganj, the seat where the maximum deletions in all of West Bengal took place because of SIR. This is also the place where you had the hostage situation taking place, where the judicial officers were held hostage. Not in Shamsherganj, in another seat, Motabadi. Motabadi also, you had a very hard fight. What had happened was that the incumbent MLA, lot of anti-incumbency, and she was shifted to a neighbouring constituency. Now the TMC is trailing in the new seat and in the old Motabadi seat.
What we're able to track, Padmaja,
there's a third factor over here.
Yes,
if you look at the latest Bangladesh election, that all the seats that Jamaat has won
are in the border
is
regions,
along the border with India. They haven't won a seat in central Bangladesh, eastern Bangladesh, but all along western Bangladesh. So this Jamaat standing on your doorstep must have scared Hindus into coalescing into a large...
Important point. I want you to look now at the impact of SIR deletions. What we can track in real time are seats where SIR deletions were more than 25,000. What's happening there? On those 145 seats where more than 25,000 SIR votes were deleted, BJP is leading on 86 of those. That's a very significant number. On seats where there were between 15 and 25 SIR deletions, there are 15 or 25,000 SIR deletions. There are 69 such seats. The BJP leading on 42. So the point will be made, clearly SIR with these 25,000 plus votes gone, Mahua Chatterjee, this question will be asked again and again, whether that benefited the BJP. That's what the data at this moment seems to be suggesting.
Yes, Rahul, I was wanting to come to this point. You know, the SIR this time in West Bengal has played the most crucial role in whatever election results are going to be at the end of the day. And let me tell you, both, I mean, whether it is the BJP which wins the West Bengal elections today, or the Trinamool Congress reverses the trend and comes back into the picture, both the parties have to credit SIR for it.
Okay, so let Jaimrug explain this. This is SIR game changer. These are the seats where the percentage of, where the number of votes deleted by SIR are more than the margin of victory, where basically the SIR made a difference to the end outcome. There are 112 seats according to the Data5 dashboard live at this time, the BJP leading in 72. So this is distributed, Jai, very clearly in favor of the BJP.
This goes with the 70-30 impact ratio that we spoke as the most probable scenario. So that seems to unfold it. Even if we go at the region-wise trends, where the heaviest SIR deletions took place, which is Malda, the BJP's vote share is lower, 32.2, but its strike rate has greatly improved, as pointed out by Padmaja.
Okay, let's also take...
By the way, the same thing has also played out in another district close by, again border, close to the Chicken's Neck, Uttar Dinajpur, and I was just looking at Chopra. Now, to give the background of this seat, Chopra is the place which sees a lot of violence. You would have heard of the bomb factories, those small Sutli bombs being discovered, you know, buried underground. This is where it happens. Invariably, you've got couple of people being killed in pre-post.
I want to go across to Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Member of Parliament from Trinavantapuram. He's joining us live at this moment. Dr. Tharoor, welcome. The good news seems to be coming from your home state, where the UDF seems well poised to be able to form the government.
It's not just forming the government, which we were expecting anyway, but a historic majority. We're leading now in 99 seats, which I must say hasn't happened in a very long time. And we're really looking forward to an amazing result when this is confirmed. We recognize not even half the rounds are over, so it'll take some time yet.
Explain your glasses. I'll come to the numbers. Explain your glasses. You've got shades on top and this very interesting glass that you're wearing. Explain what's going on here. Dr. Tharoor?
I'm really sorry, Rahul. Between the sound quality from Delhi and the noise around here, I couldn't understand your question.
I was asking you to...
Let me just say that, broadly speaking, we have, I think, a very clear message for change. The people of Kerala have decided that they are not going to continue these 10 years of misgovernance. They have voted decisively for change, even when individual ministers or MLAs of the ruling front may have been popular. People have voted against them because they recognize that voting for them would merely mean a continuation of misgovernance. That's an amazing sign of the maturity of the electorate. And I think we have every reason to be saying that the result is better than expected, and we should be forming a comfortable majority government here.
Shivaru.
Dr. Tharoor, kaun banega Mukhyamantri is an obvious question that will follow now. Is that going to be an easy decision in Kerala, sir?
Look, I mean, the honest answer is that I have no clue, because the truth is, the way it works in our party is that you will actually have a consultation amongst the victorious MLAs by a representative of the Congress president, and then you will find the High Command making the final decision.
Shankar Iyer has a question.
No idea, but the fact that we have an abundance of talent is a good sign.
Shashi, has the message of change reached the Congress headquarters?
In the background is that the TV channels are showing us leading now in 100 seats out of 140. It's almost unbelievable. It may not last, but while it's there, we are enjoying every minute of this.
Congratulations, Shashi, on the reaching the 100th mark. Does the decision of the people of Kerala for change, the message of change, Has it reached the Congress headquarters?
He's walked off. I don't think you can hear
I think
us.
because the bigger question as far as Kerala is concerned, given the kind of victory that the UDF has had, where does that leave the left? Is Kerala going to then be a state where, because most people were predicting that when the left loses Kerala so badly, with such a low number, who's going to happen, what's going to happen?
That's an important point. It's one of the few states, Veer Sanghvi, where the Congress still has a party cadre structure left on the ground. Unlike lots of other states where the structure is whittled, in Kerala it holds firm.
And also, I think it's important to point out that now the left has lost Kerala. Probably for the first time in Indian history, we have no communists in power anywhere.
That's right. And it's a very important point, because what's going to happen to the left vote? Will it it's not just a defeat, Veer, it's a blow to the left. And most important, Rahul, while we may have Shashi Tharoor as the face in national media, the real face who went on a campaign charge in Kerala was V.D. Satishan. The leader of opposition, he went there, and I remember him telling us repeatedly, we will get 100 seats.
What do you make of the fact that the BJP actually hasn't done as well as they had projected? They said that there are at least 10 seats that they are going to make leads in, but right now that lead has been reduced to 1.
No, to be honest with you, the BJP seats, if you notice, Jai, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure it will have to be Palakkad, it will have to be
Now
Nemmam.
it's only 1. Right now it's only 1.
Is that Nemmam?
What about Trivandrum?
Is it Nemmam?
It's only Nemmam.
Nemmam only. Nemmam is the one seat that they won in 2016.
BJP to win, LDF has to retreat completely. That's the only way it can win.
But we have to see the vote shares. More important, Nemmam is the only seat they won in Kerala ever. In 2016, it was Sivangutti is the incumbent MLA, the education minister. He was a K.S. Sabarinathan, who's again a strong Congress candidate, was fielded there in Nemmam.
No, but
so it'll be
it
interesting.
not work. But when they had all of these, these little coalition that they put together, they brought smaller parties together. The idea was to have a little bit of the Christian
So the minority
vote
consolidation was strong
So
in
minority
North and
consolidation.
No, not
That
just
is what
minority
happened.
consolidation. Number one, number two. Number two, the Hindu vote is not what you think of in the north when it comes to the south.
So
the
the
Hindu vote is very
entire
different.
movement around Patarmatitta, the Nair society, all of that has not. Nair services.
We're joined at this moment by GVL
12%.
Narasimha Rao. GVL Narasimha Rao joins us as the
12%
BJP looks
this
set for a historic victory in West Bengal. 185 leads. Make no mistake, this is history in the making at this moment. 293 leads we have at this moment. The BJP up a whopping 108 seats from the last time at 185. The Trinamool only at 106. Is it time already to say congratulations, GVL, or do you want to hold off for another half an hour, 40 minutes?
Rahul, I think I will accept your congratulations now because I don't see any possibility of any reversal of this trend. It's already been 2.5 hours into counting, and for the past 1.5 hours I've been continuously tracking even the ECI's official trends. Even as per official trends, we are almost 50% ahead of the TMC, and that has been holding for the past 1.5 hours. So having seen elections for a very long time from an analytical perspective, I don't see this trend reversing. So BJP is headed for a big majority government, not a very tightrope kind of a walk. It will be a significant majority, upwards of 170 or so.
Padmaja has a question for you, GVL.
That's
Padmaja.
a huge boost for the BJP.
GVL Narasimha Rao, I want you to put on your hat as a number cruncher and former psephologist. You have now managed to make inroads in areas which had been completely arid land for you earlier. Places like Havra, Kolkata, Nadia, you have bettered your earlier figure. Same for Jungle Mahal, tribal areas, it's been a sweep almost. And in the Muslim dominated areas, why do you think this is? When you analyze the seats and the trends, what helped you get those leads? And by the way, one seat in South 24 Parganas, Diamond Harbour, you are leading. When so much talk is there of the Diamond Harbour model, you are leading in the Diamond Harbour seat. GVL.
Even Bhawanipur seat where Mamata Banerjee has contested, that's also Suvendu is leading as per trends on your screen. I think it's a kind of a sweep across the state, And one thing that you must look at today, Rahul, my suggestion is, please look at the jump in the voting turnout in each constituency and the amount of swing that constituency has seen. I think they will have a very strong correlation. Seats which have seen massive voter turnout swings, particularly in the Kolkata region, where voter turnout went up by nearly 25-30 percentage points. I think those are the seats which were considered to be a fortress for the TMC, and they have also fallen, mainly because of the fearless elections where people have turned out and spoken. And this has therefore a free and fair election certainly has contributed to this victory. The fear that Mamata evoked, the TMC evoked, has certainly given away to the public coming out in large numbers to express their real opinion. Assam, a huge victory in Assam, a big victory in Bengal. I think there cannot be better news for the BJP in this election. Under NDA victory in Puducherry, under DMK Congress rout in Tamil Nadu, I think the story is very, I think the people have given us the best possible outcome in this election today. And the only state,
look at the SIR data. You're saying this, but look at the SIR data. In seats where the SIR deletions were more than 25,000, there are 147 such seats in West Bengal. The BJP is leading on 82 of those, which will lead your critics to say that apart from everything else, SIR clearly played a role in helping the BJP win West Bengal. How do you respond? How would you respond to that?
No, that's not a very, I would say, not just a fair conclusion, it's not a valid conclusion. Because then if you say take two sets of constituencies where there were larger deletions and where there were lesser deletions, and you will see BJP performing equally well against TMC in both the regions. So therefore, only SIR contributed to the BJP victory would be a complete, would be a erroneous and a motivated conclusion and not based on facts.
I mean, it's also what the data says. Take a look at the retain ratio for the Trinamool Congress. The Trinamool won 215 seats last time. They're retaining only 99 of those. The Trinamool is currently trailing on 114 seats that it had won in the last elections. Almost all of those have gone to the BJP. 111 seats have been snatched away from the BJP, from the Trinamool. These are sitting seats, not necessarily MLAs, but sitting seats of the Trinamool, which have now been won by the BJP, where the BJP is currently leading, the Trinamool being able to retain only 100 of those. That's a very, very big number. Jayanta Ghoshal, it is clear as day that there was huge anti-incumbency that built up. The three-term jinx, Tarun Gogoi, Sheila Dikshit, now it seems Mamata Banerjee will get added to that mix.
CPM took 30 years, Didi took 15 years. And actually this anti-incumbency, now it seems it is tsunami. And that day you were saying that tsunami versus tsunami, I think there is no conflict between the north and south tsunamis also.
That's true. Mahua, there's a tsunami from the north, it's swept all the way down to the south, including in the border districts.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting election. I mean, West Bengal apart, even there are, surprises across other states too. But what I would like to say is, I wanted to say this earlier too. Obviously there is an anti-incumbency vote which is showing up on the results or the leads or the trends right now. But alongside, the SIR is the crucial factor which has benefited which is going to be the final, which is what whoever wins the elections has benefited from.
So if the BJP is with us, take a look at this. Trinamool leading on 42 minority-dominated seats out of the 62 such seats. That's still down 17 from the last time. The BJP has 18 such seats. This is as far as minority-dominated seats are concerned. You look at rural West Bengal. In rural West Bengal, we have leads on 178 seats. The BJP leading on 106 of the seats of rural West Bengal. After this, take a look at urban West Bengal. In urban West Bengal, of the 68 seats, the BJP is leading on 39, 28 only for the Trinamool. There is fatigue and angst against the Trinamool, which is seen all across the data coming out of the Datafy dashboard. Yashwant Deshmukh for West Bengal. Yashwant.
I would like to say, Rahul, that the clear trend is not just across patterns on the pockets and like everything, but there was a very interesting trend out there when you were discussing the impact of SIR. Actually, I would like to say the contrary, and I agree with Kanchanda on that one, that, the highest deleted portion, the number of seats we are focusing is 82 that BJP is leading, but the proportion of the seats is most competitive in the seats where the highest deletions have happened, and that matches the trend we had seen in Bihar, So it wasn't easy for the BJP to win those seats in the highest deletion seats of SIR. Actually, GVL was right in that way that BJP has managed to win bigger number of seats actually in proportion where the lesser number of deletions have happened. So GVL is spot on in that particular trend. That's an interesting. Don't look at the number, look at the proportion, and then you will realize that this entire line of narrative that BJP might be sweeping Bengal or winning Bengal because of SIR deletions will fall flat, Rahul. BJP is winning. If winning Bengal, clearly then it is largely because of huge anti-incumbency resentment at the ground level. If it is winning, it would be largely because of unpopularity of the government, unpopularity of the TMC rank and file, rather than SIR deletions. That is something which is very clear and evident from your SIR data, which I looked at it in. Everybody was focused on the number, but I was somehow focused, being the data guy, I was focused on
the other race and contest that's on is for live concurrent viewership. In terms of which channel is being tracked the most, is fascinating how for the large part of the morning shift, NDTV has been way ahead of competition.
Not just large part of morning. Up until the latest figures that we have, and we're talking about early trends right now, these have completely solidified into NDTV far in the lead. These are not early trends, these are wins.
No, but what some of our competition is doing is underhand. What they're trying to do is they've taken some of the regional channels and added them onto the national feed.
They've also bought a lot of bots and viewership, which is
no. So the thing is that NDTV is leading despite the regional channels being added on. So it's actually a much bigger lead than it seems.
Your lead will get bigger if we talk TVK a little bit more.
Yes, that is true. The moment we start talking about TVK, the leads.
This is tampering. This is tampering with the process, saying we will talk TVK. But then that's the story at the moment, and I wanted to ask.
I call it bot chori.
No, but I wanted to ask this question to both GVL Narasimha Rao and Yashwant Deshmukh, because Rahul, at some level, while you're all talking West Bengal, one of the historic things you're seeing in Tamil Nadu is that there are going to be 3 regional parties. Look, you have often seen national party versus regional party. You've seen regional party versus regional party, and the only state you saw that was in Tamil Nadu. Today, you're going to have a triangular state between 3 regional parties. Does this mean convincingly that the national parties have no space and they have to be pushed out?
Absolutely. I think the
Dravida
model is alive and kicking in terms of empowerment, welfareism and all that.
Go ahead, GVL wanted to.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I do concede your point, because by its very nature and temperament, Tamil Nadu seems more in tune with regional parties that reflect the total regional sentiment. I think at an analytical level, I certainly accept what you're saying. It's certainly the regional parties. Now, as you mentioned, it will be 3 regional parties in the fray, with DMK reduced to a very small number, but still it will continue to be a player. So regional parties will continue to dominate the political space in Tamil Nadu is something that I will concede, and certainly national parties can be a part of an alliance, but not come to power in the foreseeable future on their own.
Veer Sangvi has a question for you. Yes, Veer.
So we're talking a lot about regional parties and Tamil Nadu. What about Bengal? Is this the first time since 1977 that a national party will have won Bengal? Bengal experts, please tell me.
Congress has been part of the 2011 government.
He said since 1970 in West Bengal.
In West Bengal,
classify the
when Trinamool was, not entirely.
Regional party, that's what I meant.
If you consider CPM as the national party on a technical grounds, yes, you can say that till 2011 a national party was in power, but CPM for all practical matters, all throughout the history of electoral politics has been a regional party in India. It has never been a national party in that way. Even Mayawati had a better vote share of having a bigger vote share at the national level many a times in that way. So that's a different point. But the point I take it is on the Tamil Nadu. Yes, that's what we are kind of apprehended, that the virtual split of the opposition vote might result in a possible DMK victory, because otherwise there was huge anti-incumbency. Me and Rahul have discussed this very often. Huge anti-incumbency brewing on the ground, and it seems like Tamil Nadu, as your Data 5 dashboard showed, they have splitted that urban and rural Tamil Nadu in different ways. The anti-incumbency sentiment has favored the ADMK in rural Tamil Nadu, and in urban Tamil Nadu it was the TVK which has taken away with that chunk.
That's right.
Yashwantji, I think the big story is the upsets that we are likely to see in West Bengal. I was just checking on all the ministers. A lot of them, Arup Biswas is trailing from Toliganj. You have Chandrama Bhattacharya in the middle was trailing, now she's back. Shashi Panja is trailing from her seat. Mamta Banerjee is trailing from her seat. Kanchan Gupta earlier was saying that this is the Bangladesh effect. The fact that you've got 8 seats in Kolkata proper, north and south together, right now showing leads for the BJP. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is one of those things which mesmerizes about the Indian voters' decision-making process. When was the last time you thought that something happening in another country is going to... But people are forgetting one thing, Padmaja. West Bengal had always had deep-rooted fault lines. I mean, it was the second state in India which after Punjab witnessed the very clear partition pain, if I may say so. So it's the long pending revival of the right in or pro-Hindu sentiment in West Bengal, which was always in the fault lines there, but somehow for various reasons, and which includes the other factors of socio-economic reconstruction in Bengal and basically the Operation Varga and all that. I don't want to get into that, but this was long pending. Just like in Assam, it was long overdue, BJP's emergence, and we are looking at the emergence now. Same is happening in Bengal, and I have absolutely, I'm absolutely sure when we look into the post-mortem and we do the post-poll further in order to map the happenings in Bangladesh, absolutely had a big thing to play, because in our debriefing when our researchers were telling us, you know what, many people are saying, dekhiye na Bangladesh mein kitna maar rahe hain, and there was something which was coming to us that, okay, is this now going to kind of do a damage to a larger Bhadralok kind of a phenomena in that way, because we had seen the rural Bengal already turning to BJP in the last 7 years. It's not a new thing that BJP is winning in rural Bengal. It's one of those miracles in India where BJP in all the other state, entire India has gone into urban pockets first and then into the rural. West Bengal, it is just bang opposite. It is where the rural Bengal they entered first and now they are entering the urban Bengal.
Yes.
So Kanchanda and
I want to go across. Okay. Thanks Yashwant for joining us. We need to move on with it because lots of people are coming and I want to ensure that no one gets left out. A very special operator who worked very hard on the ground in stitching the BJP campaign in Assam was Jai Panda. Vijayant Panda now joins us from Guwahati. I want to show our viewers as I go across to Jai Panda where things stand at this moment. In Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma and the Bharatiya Janata Party are comfortably placed to form the next government. The Congress has been routed. The BJP by itself at 77 seats, up 17. The Congress at 24, despite the anti-incumbency down for AGP at 10. Jai Panda, congratulations on a handsome victory in the northeastern state of Assam. Very well done.
Thank you very much. I think to call it a comfortable victory is an understatement. It was evident a long time ago that the people of Assam have full faith in Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the double engine government here and had made up their mind to give us their blessings for a third term. And it's not just a comfortable victory, not just a 2/3 majority, but looks like we are going past the 3/4 majority.
I want to show our viewers the region-wise breakup of Assam, which shows also the domination of the BJP in all the regions. Upper Assam, where the Gogoi family comes from, 35 leads at this moment for the BJP, the Congress, nowhere in the picture in Upper Assam, down 9 from the last time. This is historic as far as Upper Assam is concerned. Let's take a look at the hills and the Barak Valley. In the hills in the Barak Valley, the BJP at 6, Congress at 7. If I come to Lower Assam, in Lower Assam, the BJP leading on 12, up 5, the Congress on 10, up 3. Let's look at Central Assam. In Central Assam, the BJP leading on 31, up 7 from the last time. Finally, in Bodoland, you've got the BJP leading on 13, up 8 from the last time. Padmaja, significant gains from the BJP everywhere, particularly in Upper Assam.
Right across the geography, and it's important that we just mentioned that initially Yashwant Deshmukh mentioned that the kind of trends that we had seen in Assam way back in the 80s, where the change in demography, these anxieties had been exacerbated, those are being reflected. What's happening in Bangladesh, those are now being reflected in West Bengal as well, because now you see the growth of the BJP happening in the same manner across regions in Assam and in West Bengal. My question to you, Jay Panda, is, and I have to attest that what he's saying today on TV is correct. When we met about 2 months ago in Assam, he had said 90 comfortable, it's only upwards from there. But what do you say to people who will accuse you of cynically having carved out those 23 seats in delimitation and then ensuring that you sort of capture the rest of Assam? That this was all engineered via delimitation?
I'll say that these are the same people who, when they occasionally win somewhere, say, everything is fine, the EC is fine, the EVMs work all right, delimitation is normal. Only when they lose, they come up with these same allegations. The reality is that delimitation is specified in our government structures. There is nothing different that was done this time. It's as per the same rules, as per the same parameters that has been done for many decades under Congress rule. And so using this as an excuse is just another reason why they keep losing, because they are not willing to face the realities. The reality is that Prime Minister Modi has visited the Northeast and Assam 80 times during his tenure as Prime Minister, whereas his predecessor, who was actually a member of the Rajya Sabha from Assam, came hardly 10 times. That should tell you the difference in attitude from New Delhi and the difference in attitude from the double-engine government in Guwahati. The entire reason for our support from the people of Assam can be summed up in the campaign slogan of Surakshita Aham, Vikahita Aham, which means Surakshit Assam, Viksit Assam. The Bodo Accords, which used to happen only on paper decades ago, in the last 5 years, under Home Minister Amit Bhai Shah ji, have been implemented on the ground. Thousands of militants have laid down their arms. AFSPA has been removed in 2/3 of the state. That is Surakshit Assam.
Kushal Bhattacharya comes from Assam. He has a question for you, Jay Panda.
GDP in the country.
Kishore.
Well, Jay, you mentioned about the GDP. I mean, Assam still has one of the worst human development indices in the country. Your infant mortality, maternal mortality are pretty bad, and they're worse than even Bangladesh. But what I wanted to ask you is that you said that it was evident BJP would win. BJP is winning. There was not, there wasn't any debate about it. Will your chief minister now pipe down his hate rhetoric a little?
Look, you seem to have a very clear agenda in the type of questions you are asking. Let me respond to that very clearly.
Well, I don't have a political boss, Jay. I don't have.
Let him answer, Kishore. Let him answer. Let him answer.
You must listen to my answer. You must listen to my answer.
Right.
If you ask sharp questions, you must listen to sharp answers. So the reality is, when you had so many decades of infiltration, remember when partition happened, a section of people decided they were not Indian. They left, they broke away, they formed a different country. And that section of society consisted of 11% of Assam. It has gone up to 38%, forcibly occupying government land, forest land, temple lands. These have all been evicted. So what you call hateful rhetoric is just the implementation of the law. And this is supported by the people of Assam. And you can't just dismiss the economic turnaround by citing the results of the past 70 years of mismanagement, which is now being corrected. fastest growing economy in the country. This is already leading to results, and you will see better results in the days ahead.
Now you've got Gaurav Gogoi at this moment trailing in his family stronghold of Jorhat. You've got a strike rate of a kind we haven't seen virtually anywhere. What are you making of what's going on? Because the fact is that this kind of, you've actually delivered for the BJP. It's big. West Bengal, they're winning for the first time, but the scale and magnitude of victory in Assam, in a state where people thought the BJP could never win originally, is quite humongous.
You're quite right. 10 years ago, the conventional wisdom was that the BJP could never win Assam. Now this is our third term, and this time it's a sweeping victory. You know, as the election in charge, I'm very fortunate to be managing the campaign for the world's largest party in history, for the world's most popular leader in Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have a dynamic chief minister. But remember something, our philosophy of sabka saath, sabka vikas, and this also addresses the previous question a little bit earlier. You can see it in Assam. Across all sections of society, everybody has benefited. You're talking about Upper Assam and areas where tea gardens used to traditionally vote for the Congress, or women used to traditionally vote for the Congress. They have revised their opinion and are fully committed to giving their blessings to the BJP and NDA government. And I'll conclude by saying that, you mentioned Jorhat, but the reality is that the Congress is not able to keep its flock together. There are internal disputes, and they're not able to even stitch together a coalition. So they have many other challenges.
Look at the strike rate of the BJP, 85.6. You're batting IPL style in Assam, 85.6. The Congress's strike rate only 25.3. The AGP at 38. The AUDF wiped out, 6.7. Only 2 out of 30 leads. It's the collapse of the AUDF. And the most significant of all really is Upper Assam. If you go back to the time of Tarun Gogoi, look at what used to happen in Upper Assam. This used to be a Congress stronghold. There is no Congress in sight in Upper Assam. All 35 leads for the BJP in Upper Assam. That by itself, Jai Panda, how are you decoding this? The significance of the wipeout of the Congress in Upper Assam?
Look, there are several reasons for this, and I think it's a tragedy because Congress is a historic party, and if it were to play a role as a proper opposition party in the national interest, it would be actually a welcome thing. But it has evolved into something quite different, and I'll give you one example. Do you remember about 2 months ago, there was an AI summit in Delhi which Congress workers disrupted, and the Congress's ever youthful leader celebrated that disruption. Now that played very badly in Assam, because Assam, as we have been discussing in the past, had a terrible situation in terms of security and a collapsed economy. That's being revived today, not just with traditional industries like tea and bamboo, but for example, the 27,000 crore semiconductor factory that has been set up here, where the youth of Assam who've been forced to seek jobs in Gurgaon and Bangalore and other places see hope and potential for jobs in Assam, and Congress goes and kicks them in the shin by disrupting India's aspirations in the IT sector.
Kanchan Gupta has a question for you, Jai Panda.
These are the kind of self-goals that they keep doing all the time.
Kanchanda.
Jai, I was very curious. Where did the AIUDF vote disappear? I mean, where did it go? Because they are running at zero. And attached to that, was there a Bangladesh factor at play in Assam also? After all, the constant refrain that Northeast belongs to us, we'll take over Northeast, reviving memories of Maulana Bhasani and his campaign to grab Northeast. So all that, did it play a factor in taking away the indigenous Muslim vote away from AIUDF?
Well, Assam is a border state, and I have talked about the massive unnatural transformation in the demographics that happened over many decades. And obviously, whatever happens in neighboring countries does have an impact. And what has happened in some neighboring countries in the past couple of years has made it very clear as to the dangers that we face. So yes, all that contributed, but I wouldn't write off the AIUDF because they are an extremist party. Even though their seats may not reflect it, if you look at the vote share, they are still alive and kicking, and in fact in some places they have more resonance than the Congress, which is ironic because the Congress is now attempting to compete with parties like the AIUDF.
Jai Panda,
this is
Assam
in a broader
is settled.
scale of things. If I
make your point, sir. Complete what you're saying.
No, I was saying that if you look at how the Congress has evolved, many of its stands today are very, very similar to what the Muslim League used to take in the 1940s. And that is why the AIUDF is not irrelevant, and that is why that battle between them is both a sad as well as a concerning story.
Well, of all the states, Assam is the one that's voted and decided most decisively. Jai Panda had an important role to play behind the scenes in making that possible. Congratulations on a comprehensive, convincing victory. Thank you for taking our time and joining us on NDTV. I want to show you now live images from Chennai. The TVK is celebrating. Veera Raghav.
2 points I want to make about Assam. One, the only state that has voted for its incumbent. All the others have voted out the incumbent. And two, the three Gogois who had come together, 3G. Gaurav Gogoi, Lurin Jyoti Gogoi, Akhil Gogoi. All three of them are trailing in their seat, and Gaurav Gogoi by a margin of 6,000 votes.
Veera Raghav, they're celebrating in Chennai. Celebrating because it seems Vijay could be coming to power. It's almost certain that their number one party close to getting to a majority. Vasudha is joining us live. Vasudha, describe to us the celebrations or the preparation for the celebrations that are taking place there.
Well, Rahul, a lot of TVK candidates are also very anxious because they're calling me and asking, will the numbers not go down from here? Are you sure we are winning, and we are winning this big? And this is, this is the kind of, there's a very few people here because I've seen much, bigger celebrations. Whistle at the coming. And they're saying that only two things worked for them, Vijay and whistle. And they don't understand majority. They're not able to understand. They're not able to, fathom the scale of this, win. Anna எப்போ வராரு? When is Vijay coming here?
அண்ணா வருகைக்காக தான் காத்துட்டு இருக்கோம். கண்டிப்பா வெற்றி கனியை பறிச்சிட்டு கண்டிப்பா தமிழ்நாடு முதல்வரா வர போறாரு.
Okay. இது வந்து உங்ககிட்டயே இருக்குமா? You carry this all the time?
Yes.
So these are where have you come from?
கோயம்புத்தூர் மேடம்.
மாணவரணி அமைப்பாளர். மாணவரணி அமைப்பாளர் உறுப்பினர் சேர்க்கை அனுப்பினார்.
Okay, so these are all people who have come from western part of Tamil Nadu, which is Coimbatore. Rahul, I've been speaking to a lot of them here. The crowds, crowds have started coming in, and for them the biggest thing is that the DMK has been reduced to, fighting seats very badly. The same seats that it used to hold as its strongholds, especially in the city of Chennai. 16 seats. The TVK is leading in many of them, and that has given them a lot of joy. This is the Paniyo TVK office. It's like a fortress. It used to be the ancestral house of actor Vijay. He lives just 10 minutes from here in Nilankarai. And 2-3 people did come. They tried opening this office. Nothing has really happened. We are hoping that this party office gets opened and we go there like we go into the BJP and Congress office in Delhi. But yes, there's a lot of
Veera, Vasudha not very happy with the scale of celebration. She's saying the scale of victory is much bigger than the scale of...
You just need to have Vijay come out. The moment he comes out, the scale of celebrations will be enormous. But I think it's a historic verdict. Two things. It's not.
Can he make for a good chief minister?
I have no idea.
Does he know?
I have no idea about him. He's a, no, but I tell you why this is a historic verdict. And I think in the morning somebody was talking about history, Stalin making history by becoming the only DMK leader to win a second term. He has now lost trailing in his own seat. His son is trailing in Chennai. So it's not just a defeat for the DMK, it's a body blow for the DMK. It's very interesting that the AIDMK has held its own. And you know, Soumya Anbumani Ramdas is leading in her seat in Dharmapuri. You look at the kind of structure that's emerging as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. It's clear, Rahul, that there was massive anti-incumbency, and the anti-incumbency...
Shankar, dialogue, sir, dialogue. What is the Vijay dialogue? He is doing phenomenally well. 107 leads at this moment. The mighty DMK down to 49.
Shankar is chat.
It's not dialogue. I will tell you what Vijay, it's not a dialogue, but this is Vijay. One of the things that Vijay does in a movie when he's fighting with you wait, I'm coming. I've come, I've arrived. That's what he's done.
As he says in the movie yet to be released but widely pirated, which you have seen. I am coming.
Yeah, I am coming. I was waiting. I am now coming.
Nice.
I'm coming.
Vasudha is still with us outside the TVK office. Vasudha, there is a sense that the people are still only trickling in because overall it is still sinking in. This in many ways shows the fact that this is a debutant newcomer party, that many of these things are still sinking in. They're still feeling in the dark. They've got this enormous fandom, but they want everything to be settled before they actually open the floodgates.
The chaos that...
Absolutely. Shiv, I was talking to a doctor here, Dr. Lakshmi Priya, and it's very interesting that, she's telling me that, people are not even letting her watch TV because she comes from a DMK family. So all kinds of supporters have come here, and she's talking to somebody else. But let me tell you that everyone who has come here has come unannounced because nobody has a clue as to what Vijay is going to do, when is he going to be there. All that they know is all the winning candidates will be in Panayur in some time from now. Over the course of this evening, we'll also see probably Rahul Gandhi also reach out to Vijay. That's what my sources tell me, because now the numbers look very edgy. He does have 107 leads, but yes, he also needs numbers to get to that majority mark of 118. So will he be reaching out to the other players? We don't know as of now. Everyone that I've spoken to in TVK is
just to add, and I tell you this categorical in Tamil Nadu, at 107, no party can decide to keep him out of power. If they do, there will be a crazy backlash in that state. At 107, Vijay will be chief minister. He doesn't need... People will have to support him, whether they support him from outside.
Nobody what kind of chief minister will he be?
I've been saying the last time that he himself will not do things.
Okay.
This is like Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh. He'll have to find somebody like Sengotain.
Who is Manmohan Singh?
Sengotain, as I mentioned, Adav Arjun, another thing. And I must point out, Veer Raghav, for all your excellence, please go into the details of some of the TVK candidates. Some of them are highly educated. This is like the Aam Aadmi Party of Tamil Nadu.
It's not like the Aam Aadmi Party. There are several former AIADMK, for instance, the guy who is leading in Kolattur, A.S. Babu, is a former DMK MLA who is shifted to the TVK. There are former leaders of other parties, not like the AAP, where it's a full of professional things.
It's got both. That is what I'm
You got a lot of people. The question is, who runs the power center? And Vasudha perhaps answers that. Vasudha, you have tracked Adav Arjuna, John Orokyasamy, the strategists of TVK so closely. What's your sense? Who's going to hold the power?
Yeah, let me just...
Vasudha, just let Vasudha answer.
Okay, Vasudha's line has dropped.
Yeah, I was just going to...
I want to get Vasudha back as quickly as possible because I want our cameras to be on that gate. I want to be on that gate because the people who are coming in from there are important.
Wearing the DMK colors. So,
how is Rust the TVK color? How is it the TVK color?
Bengal
no. She's wearing red and yellow.
No, she's wearing rust and black.
Oh my God. Your nuanced coverage of Tamil Nadu is down to the sari colors. I'm giving broad brush statements, but back to the serious part. I think we have to focus on who will form the government in Tamil Nadu, not just in terms of chief minister candidate, but also in terms of the assembly strength, which looks shaky because ADMK, I cannot see it just breaking off from NDA. Whereas DMK, although opposed to the TVK, might yet support a minority TVK government.
I'll tell you what, at 108, the point that Jay was making, at 108, he needs 9 more people to get the numbers.
I'll just give the breakup. You have Patali Makal Kachi at 6, Congress at 5, CPM at 2, Dinakaran at 1, DMDK at 1.
No, so I think a lot of them, as Vasudha was just pointing out, reaching out to Vijay. But I'll tell you this, at 108, given the history of Tamil Nadu, again, Narayan Lakshman, would you agree, this is also a decisive mandate at some level. 108 may be short of a majority, but we've seen in 2006 where M. Karunanidhi ran a minority government with 96 seats. At 108, I don't think Vijay can be denied anything. If he's denied, it will be
How much stable will it be in the assembly?
I think what appears interesting is that they themselves, the TVK camp, seems a little surprised at the extent of their victory, but it is a victory. And you cannot deny the sort of, it is a surge as well. So,
but I'll tell you honestly, last evening when I was talking to Arun Raj, who's the Tiruchengood candidate and general secretary, the former IRS officer who's down there, he said, sir, all your exit polls are okay, sir, but we will surpass that. They were actually supremely confident that they were going to get it. And this is not now, Jay. From the start, when we went and met and everybody said, oh, you'll get 8% vote, you'll get 12% vote, they stuck to their guns that they're winning the election.
But Veera, the question this begs, and there will be pressure for this, is for them to now articulate their policy. That they have done.
Articulate policy. I'll ask you a simple question. Tell me, in hindsight, and this is a question I throw, Karur being targeted, his movie not being allowed to release, people may watch it and may not react at that point of time, but they are watching what's happening. And somebody getting targeted only makes sense.
No, but Shankar, from what I figured, and this is with no disrespect to potentially the next Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, but from what I figured, he takes time to get set, he likes his space, he can't be one with the masses, each time he comes there can be a potential of a stampede, that's how big a star he is. So there are very real concerns about how he will be Chief Minister.
Chitteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, all boring guys came, took their time, said, or Rahul Dravid. So now he's played like Rahul Dravid in some sense.
How Rahul Dravid? He's playing like Rinku Singh or something.
He's playing like Virender Sehwag.
He took his time. He didn't meet anybody. He didn't give any interviews. He made no flamboyant statements. His manifesto is strictly welfare, no drama. And then he has just gone and engaged people on digital media, on top of his Ratham or whatever, the bus, and he has just been out of sight for most times. Otherwise, all the other parties have gone around. Now, the question about leadership, let me just frame this. This is a question that was asked of Kamaraj, this was a question that was asked of Annadurai, this was a question that was asked of MGR, this was a question that Jayalalitha was the propaganda secretary, they made fun of her.
The two
Vijay's
people
house.
who back,
This is inside Vijay's house. Celebrations that have just come from Vijay's house apparently.
these are the two people in this entire panel studio, the three people who've actually met and spoken to Vijay for a long time are Shivaru, Rahul Kaval and Vasudha
Here up on our screens in just a moment.
Rahul, what do you think? What do you think of him as a chief minister?
We spent about an hour and a half together, one-on-one with Vijay. It was meant to be a short conversation. And he was basically constantly asking,
that's S.A. Chandrasekhar, Vijay's father.
The answers, just how do you think it went? He was constantly seeking validation. So this is not somebody who is...
On the screens is S.A. Chandrasekhar.
The director, he's audience research.
No, that's S.A. Chandrasekhar, Vijay's father, who's there on the screens now. When
There's the picture of us.
Yeah. Shiv, the irony of this election is that the one clip that went most viral was the non-interview. Because it wasn't really an interview. We spent 1.5 hours together. Then the whole crew spent some time with him. Vasudha was there, Shiv was there. So we had a nice chat with him. And that was it. And that, just the fact that we put out the image, spoke a little bit, just like for 3 or 4 minutes, that went viral at an insane level of virality, which also shows Narayan Lakshman just how big this was. And the fact that there's a phenomena of this magnitude under your nose and so many people except Pradeep Gupta failed to pick that up.
And just, Narayan, before you say it, just telling our viewers, these are pictures from inside and outside Vijay's house.
So I'm just also to add, Shiv, that's I think his father, Chandrasekhar, S.A. Chandrasekhar, and then possibly his cousins or kids, I know who the rest are.
Narayan, apologies, just a moment, I'm coming to you. 30 seconds because Vasudha's line is a little tentative. Vasudha is outside. Vasudha, what's going on? It looks like the celebrations are getting louder now.
That's true. More people are coming in. We are told that Vishnu Reddy, one of Vijay's closest friends, has also reached his house. Let me also, bring you some of the, people here who are, you come from a DMK family of supporters. Why are you here to support the TVK?
because I need some change from this DMK and ADMK parties. Shall I? Yeah. I need some changes from this ADMK and DMK. So I am supporting TVK. As I belong to DMK family, I entirely coming against my family and I am supporting TVK for Vijayana because I am seeking something different. I need something different from this corruption from all the departments. From all the departments, they are doing somewhat. They are not okay for the people.
So it's very interesting that the people have come here. They've all come with whistles, and very few people here, like Rahul was also saying that I would have probably expected more. But one question they don't want to address right now as to what kind of a chief minister Vijay would be, because that is something they've left it to him, and they are expecting him around 6 o'clock in the evening is what the fans are saying. But no word from the party yet. They say after all procedures are completed and all the certificates are given, all the candidates are expected to come to Panayur office of the TVK.
Interestingly, when Vijay comes to the TVK office, Prime Minister Modi will be at the BJP offices as well. So we'll have two big, live events to cut to at that point of time. From a TV perspective, I don't know how we're going to manage that, but it's going to be very, very interesting. Stay with me. Deepak Bopanna is at Neelangarai outside Vijay's residence. We just saw pictures of his father as well. Okay, we're getting Deepak back. I think things are escalating fast. More people are arriving there. But Vasudha, where are all the fans? How are the fans being contained right now? How are they being communicated and told to calm down and not emerge in large numbers yet?
Crowd management is something that's a concern, Shiv, and in fact, when all of the parties did have, meetings with election agents, TVK had 6 to 7 meetings, conferences with virtual warriors. So I think all the fans have been asked to just stay online for today. But yes, the crowd has slowly started, swelling in here. But we're expecting more people to come here by 4 p.m. is what we understand.
Vasudha, very briefly, I was asking you this question earlier when your line got cut. You've tracked John Orokyaswamy, the Adhav Arjuna very closely, the rest of the TVK. The only TVK leader that I tracked closely was Arun Raj, and I must tell you that he's also leading at Tiruchengood. But I wanted to ask you, what's the sense? Who's going to control the TVK? Because access, nobody knew where to get the access from. The leaders were talking from the top once the permission's through. Who do you think is going to control the thinking process as far as the party which is in power is going to be? 111 we are talking right now. Triple Nelsons for the TVK.
Well, Veena, you would also understand that, some of the people who have been with Vijay for a long time have been bang on with respect to numbers, because even when the exit poll numbers came out, they did tell me very clearly that, madam, it is not possible for TVK and DMK both to perform very well. And they also said that PMK is the only party that they felt was still sticking on to its strongholds when it comes to youth. They said that the one-year youngsters are not moving to TVK despite our attempts to reach out to them, and that seems to be reflecting in today's results as well. If you look at Vijay's close coterie, it is John Orokyaswamy, the strategist, you have Adhav Arjuna, you have Vishnu Reddy, and a couple of other people, and then he has his whole films gang as well, including Jagdish and a couple of other people. But Arun Raj is also somebody who's going to be extremely crucial when it comes to governance. He needs to have more people in the organization, because at this point of time, it looks like Sengotian, the former AIDMK leader, seems to be handling most of that work.
I have a question though. We are still tantalizingly short of the halfway mark for the TVK, but it is inching closer and closer. Just what, 7 short? We've got Deepak. 6 short. So we've got Deepak Bopanna also joining us. I think we should go across to Deepak because he's outside the house of Vijay. Have people started reaching there as well? What are the people saying? What are their expectations? Over to you, Deepak, because now it almost seems like Vijay's party may touch the halfway mark on its own.
Yes, Padmaja, it definitely seems like he's inching towards that magic number, and I'm just going to show you the situation outside the house. The security has increased sizably, and it's in the last 1 hour or so there are at least about 6 to 7 additional police vans that have been coming in. These are reserve police, the local Tamil Nadu police. There's also the CRPF teams, that is of course the ones who actually give him security. All of them here. Just about 5 minutes ago, Vishnu Reddy is said to be one of those close friends of actor Vijay from many years, who's also funded the party, helped him during these election periods, And right now, here to congratulate him on this, stupendous performance. We're also looking at visuals coming from his residence, where family is celebrating. His father is elated. He was earlier in the temple, praying for the success of his son, and now it seems like success has come knocking, and there is no stopping the cadre who are going to be here, in huge numbers, and that's the reason police presence is so high across this stretch of the road. This is a very, very posh. The entire area has been barricaded. I'm going to try and get to the main road, because very soon, like we saw on voting day, the crowds are not allowed on this stretch of the road. But when it comes to the ends of these roads, huge number of fans were gathered just on voting day. And today, for sure, there would be a sizable number that will be at the TVK office and here to catch a glimpse of Vijay. I've been saying this earlier as well. It's the return of fandom politics really in Tamil Nadu. We've seen the likes of MGR, we've seen the likes of Jayalalitha, and the kind of power that they enjoyed because of the fan following that they had. And now it seems like actor Vijay is very much on that path.
Deepak, I'll give you a quick tip. The person you should perhaps be calling right now is your good friend DK Shivkumar, and find out, because he was one of those who believed that the Congress should be with the DMK and they would come back to power. But you should call him to check if they're reaching out to the TVK. If the Congress is reaching out to the TVK, as Jai Murg has been pointing out, Congress has about 4 seats, Jai, leading in 5 seats. Yeah. Perhaps it's time for a Dravidian realignment.
Well, Veera, you know that the dialogue that was happening ahead of the elections here between the Congress and the DMK and the TVK. Right now, the Congress will be just sitting back and thinking, well, have we made a big mistake? Because an alliance with the TVK would have meant that they would have got a sizable number of seats to contest with, possibly more wins as well, and a bigger say. But right now, of course, everything.
Sorry, Deepak, there is no thinking. It was a very, very big mistake, because there was a huge section in the party which was pushing for a TVK alliance. The Congress took with it. The Vijay faction of the Congress, they were pushing for it. No, but I'll tell you honestly, every Congress leader we spoke to, and on the day of polling, they were saying, the kind of momentum we've seen for him is enormous. Congress, so maybe perhaps time for a realignment in Tamil Nadu. Who knows?
Well, I think the point is that Vista seems to have helped Vijay, because the Chennai Super Kings anthem is also whistle poured. One of the hit movies of Vijay is also Bigil, which is a slang for whistle. So it's whistling all the way.
Kabir in West Bengal also has whistle for his party symbol.
But very clearly the out whistling has happened in Tamil Nadu. I think, but I think it's the personality that is towering over everything else. The face.
No, it's fascinating, because after all, I cannot, as I was stating during our conversations as well, I don't think there is a parallel to this. There is no parallel to what Vijay has achieved today, not just simply because of just the fact that he's just a star to politician. Fact is that there is absolutely no political base, there's no political ideology, there's not a single protest movement that his party or his cadres have organized.
Started moving people away.
But the title Jananayakan, which means people's hero, is enough.
Some pictures of the police moving protesters and fans away from there. Let's go live to Deepak if we can.
Well, yes, Shiv, there's a lot of crowds that are coming in. The police, of course, right now ensuring that nobody is gathering outside the residence. They've also barricaded the media to one side of the road. I just mentioned that the fans who have been gathering, they've been restricted to the main road. So most of them not able to even see the size, a house of actor Vijay, having no option but to, in fact, leave and wanting to come back a little while later. But what I can tell you here is that there is a lot of anticipation, even among the neighbors here, who in the mornings just enjoyed the routine walks and morning jogs. Today I saw a few of them coming here and taking a selfie just in front of a gate. It's not as if Vijay has stepped out. He's not expected to, at least until the numbers really settle. But for the people, even the neighbors here, everyone's really excited.
Okay,
now,
I'm joined on this.
Things go as
I'm joined on the broadcast live at this moment by a special guest. He's one of those who actually predicted that Vijay will do really well. With all the agency he had, Praveen Chakravarti pushed and he pushed and he pushed for the Congress to ally with the TVK and Vijay, and they didn't. They went with their traditional allies, the DMK. Praveen Chakravarti is joining us now. and he's the one person who can tell everyone listening at this time, I told you so. Praveen, can you hear us? You're the one, you can have a smile on your face, tell everyone in Delhi and elsewhere,
I can hear you,
I
but
told
there's a
you
lot
so.
of disturbance.
Why are you looking so upset? You're the guy who can say, I told you so.
No. See, it is okay for all of you who are observers of this to say, to indulge in all these headline victories of I told you so. We have skin in the game. When we lose an opportunity, we suffer the consequences. So this is not an I told you so moment. If anything, I look at it as a salt on the wound moment. It's a salt on the wound because, yes, it is no doubt that it is a huge missed opportunity for the Congress party. And I am also very, very clear, which is what I told the party even internally, that had the Congress aligned with the TVK, we would have won close to a 2/3 majority. The combination of Rahul Gandhi and Vijay would have just swept the whole state.
Veera Raghav has a question for you. Veera.
Praveen, it may have been a very, very huge missed opportunity. I agree, given the results that's there. You've been speaking about this for a while. I want to know, it may still not be a completely missed opportunity, given that you have possibly 4 or 5 MLAs and Vijay may be just short of the majority mark.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What did you
Praveen,
say?
do you believe that it's time for the Congress to immediately reevaluate and offer support to Vijay and form a coalition with him? Because you may have 4 odd MLAs, Vijay may be just short of the 117 mark.
I mean, I'm assuming, I couldn't hear you clearly. I'm assuming the question is about a post-poll support. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
See, I don't know about the post-poll numbers and I don't know the way things are going. I mean, for the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister to either be trailing or be engaged in a very, very close contest with a rank unknown, itself tells you the trend and the wave that is there in Tamil Nadu today. It kind of reminds me, Rahul, since you followed many elections, it reminds me of Punjab 2022. And by the way, this is exactly what I told the party, my party leadership, 4 months ago, because I was involved in the Punjab 2022 in the run-up to it. And I said, I'm seeing a very, very similar trend. People are saying, we need a change. We are tired of the 2 old parties. And this is what I was seeing on the ground.
Since you know Vijay well, try and explain to our audience and everybody watching, what kind of a chief minister is he likely to be? What kind of a government is this likely to be? How is this likely to run? This man has been a star, he's used to being directed. Can he be a successful chief minister?
I'm having a very hard time hearing you. What sort of a government? Sorry, would Vijay run?
What sort of a government is Vijay likely to run?
See, I think we have to set the context for it. I don't think a new party, any new party anywhere in India's election history has been put under so much state machinery control and power. I will give you an example from your own fraternity. There were, as you know, events held in Chennai in the run-up to the election, and there was one event by one of your rival channels where originally they had invited me to come and speak, okay? And on the morning of the event, they called me and they told me this, that they received a call from the Chief Minister's office as well as from the Industries Minister saying, you cannot invite Praveen Chakrabarti. This is such a small level of control. This is the level of control. We know what happened. He was not allowed to campaign. He was not allowed to. There was so much pressure on him. His movie was not released. But despite that, Mr. Vijay stuck and said, I am not going to compromise on my idea of secularism. I am not going to compromise on my Dravidian ideology. So I think that very clearly tells you the kind of government that Mr. Vijay...
Shiv Arur has a question for you. Shiv.
Praveen, if you can hear me clearly, where was the disconnect? You were very convinced, you saw the edge, you saw the wave for Vijay. Where was the disconnect in convincing your leadership that Vijay was the way to go in this election? Because you've been proven right.
Like I said, it's not about being proven right, but in one word, if I were to answer your question on where the disconnect was, it was age. Just as age is the fault line in the Tamil Nadu election, what is it that I was seeing? I was seeing such an astonishing number of youngsters and others saying we want change, we want new. And you know, as people got older and older, about 60 plus, 70 plus, and unfortunately, Congress party is an old party and also a party of very old people.
Praveen, give a little bit of inside track onto what really happened with Vijay. Was there an effort from Vijay's side also to communicate with the Congress? Because at one point of time, the buzz was extremely strong that there could be, in fact, there were many in the TVK who believed that the Congress will come over to their side. Just give us a sense of whether the TVK was really eager to fix that alliance. And at what point did it become clear that you guys weren't going together?
Yes, there were efforts and interest from their side as well. And perhaps they were more united in their view that there should be an alliance, a secular alliance with the Congress party, unlike our party, which was quite divided.
What kind of a model do you think Vijay embodies? A lot of people are comparing it to Aam Aadmi Party. Do you think that holds, that he has tried to reach out to every caste, every age, every community, and has catered more to the aspirations of a younger demographic?
I think while it is tempting to kind of draw comparisons with other political new parties and upstarts, please remember the context in Tamil Nadu. What was Mr. Vijay's party TVK up against? They were up against a coalition of nearly 35 parties. They were not fighting just the DMK or the AIADMK. A coalition of 35 parties.
Correct.
One party took on a coalition of 35 parties. So that is somewhat unprecedented anywhere in India. That is what makes the scale of this, I mean, we can't call it victory yet, but the scale of this clear kind of trend even more special for them and even more painful for us in the Congress.
We'll come back to you later in the day, Praveen Chakravarti. You can in some senses say you were the oracle when it comes to Tamil Nadu, kept urging the party to make the switch, they didn't. He's saying, I don't want to take too much credit because ultimately the alliance lost. We'll come back to Praveen Chakravarti later in the evening. I want to go across to Tejasvi Surya. He joins us now. Tejasvi Surya, let's look at what's happening in West Bengal, because this is important. If you see West Bengal, the Bharatiya Janata Party has shred forever the notion of being a party of the Hindi heartland, because at this moment the BJP is leading on a whopping 194 seats out of the 293 seats for which we have trends. That's up 117 from the last time. The Trinamool is down 118. Congratulations, Tejasvi Surya. This is history.
Thank you so much, Rahul. It is indeed history in the making, and we are really fortunate to be witnessing the voice of the people of West Bengal being registered in such a strong manner. During the election campaign, there were two very powerful emotions that one could feel. The emotion of hope and the emotion of anger. Anger against the incumbent and hope in anticipation of change. And in whichever election these two emotions combine, you cannot stop a massive change. This was the same feeling that the country expressed during 2014 elections. It was the same kind of feeling that you could feel on the ground in West Bengal. In fact, on the day of the last day of the campaign, I had the opportunity to participate in the Padyatra of Suvendu Adhikari ji in Bhabanipur. It looked as though the entire town, the entire city had come out on the streets to welcome him. So it is unprecedented. It is an indication of the Prime Minister's popularity, Amit Shah ji's incredible organizational and electoral management genius, and the selfless hard work that millions of karyakartas of the BJP.
What do you make, since you come from Karnataka, what do you make of this Gen Z or youth revolution in favor of Vijay and the TVK in Tamil Nadu?
Well, the DMK was suffering from a very big anti-incumbency. The people of Tamil Nadu were also very keen for an alternative, and Vijay has been an extremely popular actor in Tamil Nadu from the last few decades. His fan clubs showed the potential that they can convert the popularity and the fandom into tangible votes, something that many political observers were skeptical of, and the result is this unprecedented victory where he has given a jolt to the two-party system in Tamil Nadu.
Padmaja.
It's a massive victory, and one has to acknowledge it.
Tejasvi Surya, many congratulations. Padmaja here. You had plenty of candidates who were erstwhile from your Yuva Morcha also in the fray. I see most of them are leading as well. So congratulations on that. What is the single biggest factor? Do you think ultimately it is the consolidation? And I just heard Shivendu Adhikari speak yet again, and he again said that this was about an existential threat to the people of Bengal, and they all united. The Hindus of Bengal united to keep the state and the country safe from this threat. Do you think that struck a chord somewhere?
Absolutely, Padmaja, no doubt about it. If you travel to the border districts in West Bengal, the Hindu community across castes, across socio-economic divide, are staring at a very possible, very real demographic shift which has been engineered by the TMC to suit its vote bank politics. And I also, can very clearly tell you that all of these days the Kolkata presidency area, the southwest of West Bengal, which was considered to be a TMC fortress, something that was considered to be impenetrable for the BJP, is where you see the biggest flip happen. So the statements of the TMC leaders that post 4th May there is going to be retribution, that nobody can come to save those who support the BJP, I think that has actually worked against the TMC. The confidence that the Election Commission and the deployment of the CRPF and the central forces gave to the common voter of West Bengal to actually come out and cast his vote in a very confident manner, in a manner of, without fear. I think that has also played.
Boria Majumdar has a question for you. Boria.
It's in the last, since 2000, since the last elections, there has been a considerable targeting of not just the BJP cadre but the Hindu community in general by the TMC and these Bangladeshi infiltrator goons, and that has had a big impact on the psyche of the common voter. So this is a complete consolidation of the Hindu nationalist voice and the vote in the West Bengal, and this was extremely necessary for the national security of the country. This was very much necessary to protect the territorial integrity of a very critical part of the country's geography in the east, and salutes to the voter of West Bengal for actually delivering such a massive, clear and mandate in favor of the nationalist voice.
Tejasvi, two-part question. I live in the heart of North Kolkata, absolute heart of North Kolkata, and the rhetoric there for the last couple of years has been, Rajabazar is about 5 minutes, 10 minutes away from where I live, a very Bhadralok, upwardly mobile Bengalis, 200 years there, that in Rajabazar you go, it's a different country. Nobody will say anything to them. as basic as if you don't wear a helmet, the police will not say. No one will talk about this. Do you reckon that the TMC did not see the writing on the wall, that even the Bengali Bhadralok or the Bengali middle and upwardly mobile middle class was moving away from them? And secondly, the youth, including women, was moving away from Mamata Banerjee and the party, and that she failed to read that?
Absolutely. I mean, when you are in a kind of hubris, then you will be blinded to the reality outside of you, even though it is staring at you right in your face. In the last 15 years, there has been a systematic deindustrialization of West Bengal. The young of West Bengal are forced to migrate hundreds and thousands of kilometers for employment and education opportunities. Come to Bangalore, the city that I come from, and you see lakhs of Bengalis who are now forced to come even for higher education. This was not the case earlier. So the systematic destruction of Bengali industries, systematic destabilization of the education system in Bengal also contributed to the youth getting disillusioned. And just across the border, the people of West Bengal are seeing the kind of treatment the Hindus are being meted out to in Bangladesh. You think this will not have a impact on the psyche of the common voter in West Bengal? When the party in power, the state which is supposed to protect you, is actually engineering a demographic change just because it is going to suit their politics. And this demographic change is not going to come and benefit just a political party. It comes with its own multifarious, multidimensional socio-economic impact. So the infiltrators will take away the jobs. The infiltrators will pose a security to your women. The infiltrators will also pose a security to the social fabric of the society. So all of these have contributed as multiple factors, and I would still say, if you also look at the kind of interviews and statements that the TMC leaders were giving during the campaign, it was full of arrogance, People don't like arrogance, especially by people who are in positions of power. So when hubris takes over, vicious vote bank politics to the detriment of the common man's economic, social and even physical security takes over, then you have the results that you are seeing today.
Tejasvi, Veera here, coming to the point in Tamil Nadu, given that now the TVK has risen as the force that's the alternative to the DMK and the ADMK in a convincing categorical sense, where does that leave the BJP in the state? Do you believe that the BJP is going to get squeezed out further and Tamil Nadu is going to remain firmly in the confines of these three regional parties?
Well, to draw a silver lining in the whole of today's result, I would say that one thing is gotten established, that the people of Tamil Nadu were completely disenchanted with the DMK. They were looking for an alternative, and the kind of alternative that we see is also a young face. We have in Annamalai a very young, very dynamic, a very charismatic leader. And I see that the silver lining in this not so great result for the NDA in Tamil Nadu is that in the coming days there is going to be a bigger opportunity for the party to rebuild.
Should the party rebuild? While the party rebuilds, should it go back to the Annamalai formula?
Strengthening a leader like Annamalai.
Sure. Okay.
That's what he's saying.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just have a data point to add. 2024 with Annamalai as leader, the BJP had 10.7% vote in the Lok Sabha. It has now shrunk to 3.3 in Tamil Nadu.
Tejasvi Surya, thank you very much for joining us. The BJYM Chief Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. Remember, this is also a vote that we've seen across India by the young demographic. What does the youth of the country want? And this is not just a message that we are hearing in West Bengal. It's a message that we're hearing in Assam. We are hearing it in Tamil Nadu as well. But let's quickly now give you a sense. I think we have Pradyut Bordoloy with us before we go across to him.
Come here. I'm joined right now by Shuvendu Adhikari. Just bring the camera back. Bring the camera here. Quickly. Joining us now, live and exclusive on NDTV, the architect of this historic victory for the Bharatiya Janata Party in West Bengal, Shuvendu Adhikari, the man who led the charge. Shuvendu da, congratulations, welcome, बहुत मुबारक हो आपको. छा गए आप तो. Oh. Just, he said, Lady J, so I thought we'll take him live. I lost that connection just at that wrong second. Let me just try once again. I asked him if we could go live. He said, yes, we can. Let's just try once more if we can do that. Shuvendu da, बहुत मुबारक हो. आपने तो क्रांति कर दी ऐसे स्टेट में. आप बीजेपी को ले गए जहां इससे पहले बीजेपी कभी जीती नहीं है.
देखिए, जनता को बधाई दे रहा हूं. कंप्लीटली मिसरूल के खिलाफ जनता ने वोट किया और पूरा आप हर ईवीएम में देखिए हिंदू कंसोलिडेशन और 7% स्विंग हुआ. इस बार जितना गाली जितना अत्याचार ममता बनर्जी हिंदू लोग को ऊपर दिया, हिंदू ने मुंह तोड़ जवाब ईवीएम में दे दिया.
शुभेंदु दा, आप तो खुश होने चाहिए, ऐसे डांस करना चाहिए, एक्साइटेड होना चाहिए. आप तो इतना सीरियस टाइप का जवाब दे रहे हैं. आपने ऐसा किया जो श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी के टाइम से बीजेपी वाले सोच रहे, ड्रीम कर रहे करने की, लेकिन आज तक कभी हो नहीं पाया.
नहीं, हम हर कार्यकर्ता इसमें पार्टिसिपेट किया. हम लोग को जो मैं तो कुछ मेरा छोटा भूमिका था, लेकिन पूरा कार्यकर्ता खास करके 300 बीजेपी कार्यकर्ता आपने बलिदान दिया ना, उसका ये जीत उनका इसका है. 300 बीजेपी कार्यकर्ता बलिदान दिया.
आपसे जब मुलाकात हुई, आपका जब इंटरव्यू हुआ, आप 170 बोल रहे थे, अभी तो 200 के पास चल रहा है. आपने तो दीदी को एकदम धो डाला.
हाँ, धो तो डाला. तो ये देखिए, यहाँ आध्यात्मिक कैपिटल है देश का, ये कल्चरल कैपिटल है देश का बंगाल. इसको ममता बनर्जी जिस तरीके से खत्म किया, और इसमें जनता का जीत है, मोदी जी का जीत है. मोदी जी ने खुद कैंपेन का लीड किया है, उन्होंने काफी मेहनत किया है. मैं जनता और मोदी जी को आभार प्रकट करता हूँ.
आप नेक्स्ट चीफ मिनिस्टर हो गए वेस्ट बंगाल के. पार्टी ने बहुत हद तक क्लियर कर दिया. हाउ डज इट फील टू बी द चीफ मिनिस्टर?
आई एम नॉट पासिंग एनी कमेंट. मेरा पास कोई कम्युनिकेशन नहीं है. मैं अभी पूरा प्रदेश में शांति ठीक रहे. कोई भी टीएमसी जिस तरीके से गुंडागर्दी करता था, जो भी भ्रष्टाचारी है, गुंडा है, वो जेल में जाएगा कानून के अंदर. लेकिन जितना 2021 में पोस्ट पोल वायलेंस हुआ, इस तरीके से कोई काम हम लोग करने नहीं दूंगा.
पोल वायलेंस ना हो, उसको कैसे इंश्योर करेंगे? पैरामिलिट्री फोर्सेस वहां रहेंगी सर.
हम लोग का कंट्रोल है यार. आप लोग मान के चलिए ना, मैं इसमें कोई कम्युनल बात नहीं बता रहा हूँ. हिंदू लोग एरोगेंट नहीं होता.
ये कंचन गुप्ता है, आप जानते हैं उनको?
कल्चर में एरोगेंसी नहीं है.
कंचन गुप्ता आपको कांग्रेचुलेट करना चाहते हैं और आपसे बात भी करना चाहते हैं. शुभेंदु दा, कंचन दा, let me just bring my laptop across. Shuvendu Adhikari, yes.
শুভেন্দু বাবু,
নমস্কার.
কেমন আছেন?
আমি আছি, আমি গণনা মনিটরিং করছি. আমি এমনি কমফোর্টেবল, গোটা 200 কাছাকাছি সিট যাচ্ছে. আর ভবানীপুরে মুসলিম এলাকা কাউন্ট শেষ হয়ে গেছে. মমতা ব্যানার্জি 11,000 মতো লিড নিয়েছে. এবারে আমি কভার করে নেব, হিন্দু এলাকা বাকি আছে.
शुभेंदु बाबू, अभी देखने को जो मिल रहा है कि जितने भी बॉर्डर कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसीज हैं, वहां पर भाजपा इतना शानदार रिजल्ट कर रहा है. इन साउथ 24 परगनास, जहां पर पार्टी की कोई जगह नहीं थी, आपने वहां पर कब्जा कर लिया है. डायमंड हार्बर लिया है. इसकी कोर रीजन क्या है, कोर कारण क्या है?
इसका एक ही रीजन है, घुसपैठिया. जिस तरीके से डेमोग्राफी चेंज किया उसका खिलाफ ही वोट हुआ।
मैं आपसे एक और सवाल करना चाहता हूं, महिलाओं ने किसको वोट दिया इस बार?
देखिए वोट हिंदू माने मेल फीमेल में नहीं हुआ, अब यहाँ हिंदू कंसोलिडेशन हुआ है, हिंदू महिलाओं बीजेपी को वोट किया और साथ में इस बार आदिवासी वोट काफी मिला हम लोग को।
ये पद्मजा जोशी हैं, कैंपेन को बड़े जोरों से कवर किया था, वो आपसे सवाल पूछना चाहती है। पद्मजा, आई एम सॉरी, दिस इज जस्ट लाइव ऑन द फ्लाई। यस पद्मजा, गो फॉर इट। यस
शुभेंदु दा,
थैंक यू
सब भालो। आई एम वेरी वेल सर, आई एम वेरी वेल। आपने बहुत धुआंधार प्रचार किया, आपके खुद के क्षेत्र में तो पूरा क्लीन स्वीप हुआ है, ट्राइबल वोट बहुत पड़ा है आपको। इस बार आपने जंगल महल में भी स्वीप किया, नॉर्थ में भी स्वीप किया, थोड़ा सा होती है सर, वो बंद हो गई है। डायमंड हार्बर मॉडल अभी भी कायम है, एक ही सीट वहां पर अभी बढ़त दिख रही है, उसमें थोड़ा सेंधमारी की कोशिश अभी भी है।
हाँ वहाँ थोड़ा तो वो लोग डराने का काम किया और वहाँ डेमोग्राफी ज्यादा चेंज हुआ था, इसलिए जहाँ जहाँ डेमोग्राफी चेंज हुआ वहाँ इस तरीके से हुआ है। आने वाला दिन में सब ठीक ठाक हो जाएगा। हमारी तो 189 चल रहा है, ये बड़ा अंतर, बाकी हम लोग संभाल लेगा।
शुभेंदु दा, आपने वहां पे भी अच्छा किया जहां पे बंगाली भद्र लोग थे और लोगों को लग रहा था कि इन एरियाज में आ ही नहीं सकती। कोलकाता के इर्द गिर्द एक बंगाली भद्र लोग जो मान नहीं रहा था बीजेपी जीतेगी, बोरिया मजुमदार हमारे साथ है, वो आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं। यस
শুভেন্দু বাবু, প্রথমত কংগ্রাচুলেশনস। দুটো প্রশ্ন। ভালো, হ্যাঁ আপনাকেও দুটো প্রশ্ন। এক, আগের বারের ইলেকশনের পরে আমরা প্রচুর গন্ডগোল দেখেছি, কলকাতায় 200 বছরের বাস, উত্তর কলকাতা, এটা কিভাবে সাধারণ মানুষকে আপনার মুখ থেকে শুনলে সবাই বলবেন, এটা কিভাবে আটকাবেন? দ্বিতীয়ত,
বিজেপি বা আমাদের সনাতনী রাষ্ট্রবাদীদের কালচার এগুলো নয়, আটকানো মানে এখানে হবে না, কিছু হবে না। ওই ধরনের ভায়োলেন্ট করতে পারে জামাতি মাইন্ডসেটের লোকজন। আমরা যারা রাষ্ট্রভক্ত লোকজন আছি এবং সনাতন কালচার মানি, গীতাকে মানি, আমরা এইসব কালচারে নেই। আমরা যেটুকু যদি ছোটখাটো কিছু ঘটে, আমি এবং আমার প্রদেশ অধ্যক্ষ সভাপতি আমরা দুজন সামলে নেব।
দ্বিতীয়ত আমরা যেটা দেখি, আমি ইংরেজিতে জিজ্ঞেস করছি। so there are parts of Calcutta, Shubhendu Babu, where we have kind of seen over the last couple of years, when we only have traveled as Bengalis, we did not feel great about it, because a certain community, there were things like, rules are not the same for Bengalis, Hindus and Muslims. There was polarization of a certain sort, and even the Hindus were feeling that very inside Calcutta. Take Raja Bazar, take Metia Buruj, both north and south. You are talking about consolidation. Was that one of the reasons, and did TMC not see the writing on the wall?
Due to their vote bank politics, TMC did this type of unethical job. It's a high appeasement politics. Due to this ground, the demography has been changed in Calcutta surroundings area. All are infiltrators. They are coming through border. The Mamata Banerjee government not provided land to the BSF. This is the main reason. Further reason, the entire Bengali, Hindu and all other true patriotic people, they are united, they are casted their vote in favor of Lotus, and the outcome is now coming.
जाने माने जर्नलिस्ट एडिटर हैं वीर सांघवी, वो एक क्विकली आपसे सवाल पूछना चाहते हैं। यस वीर। शुभेंदु दादा।
Shubhendu, just a basic question. What will you do apart from this Hindu-Muslim stuff which you've gone on and on about? What will you do in Bengal that will be very different?
Please tell me again.
You've talked about Hindu consolidation, people's concerns about infiltration, which is valid and probably accounts to your victory. But my question is, once you get away from that, once you come to power in Bengal, what will you do that is different?
No. You saw in Assam, Tripura, after BJP came to the power, the infiltrators issue already overcome. The double engine Sarkar will perform properly, and central state relation will sort out this problem.
सवाल ये शिव अरूर हमारे मैनेजिंग एडिटर है एनडीटीवी 24/7 के। शुभेंदु दा, जाने से पहले एक सवाल शिव अरूर आपसे करना चाहते हैं। शिव।
Shubhendu da, this entire election, previous election also was framed as, the BJP is a party of the Hindi heartland, Bengali identity समझते नहीं है BJP वाले. Do you think that has been disproved now? Outsider, insider wala politics?
Yes, outsider, insider, it's a Mamata Banerjee's very cheap politics. The people rejected it. You know it very well. One Bengali Hindu, renowned, respected Hindu, Bharat Kesari Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee, formed this party. This party is functioning under the ideology of the Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee. The people rejected it. It's a Mamata Banerjee, very cheap politics.
Shubhendu, one final question. At this moment in Bhawanipur, it's been going up and down. Mamata Banerjee is currently in the lead. Previously, she was trailing. How is it looking for you in Bhawanipur? You are still known as a giant slayer from Nandigram in the last time.
I am hopeful because the Muslim area 63, 67, 77 ward already covered. My calculation inside was that she may lead 20,000, but now she is leading 16,000. The entire Mamata's vote bank area are now covered.
ये पश्चिम बंगाल के दो जाने पहचाने जर्नलिस्ट हैं, वो आपको कांग्रेचुलेट करना चाहते हैं। खत्म करने से पहले जयंतो घोषाल आपको कांग्रेचुलेट करना चाहते हैं।
শুভেন্দু কনগ্রাচুলেশন। জয়ন্ত বলছি।
কালকে রাতে বলেছেন দেখেছি।
হ্যাঁ দেখেছেন টুমরো আই সেড। না আমার একটাই প্রশ্ন আছে। থ্যাংক ইউ।
ডিফারেন্স অফ অ্যানালাইসিস।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
স্পোক ইয়েস্টারডে।
ইয়েস। না শুভেন্দু একটা প্রশ্ন করব, তুমি কি আর ইউ লাইক টু শিফট ইওর অফিস টু এগেন রাইটার্স বিল্ডিং or you will go to Navanno?
It's a BJP
major decision এটা।
We are working in collective leadership. It's a national party. We will sit and discuss all the
writers একটা heritage building.
No, I am not belonging any regional party or personal party.
Right.
अच्छा महुआ चाटी जी आपको कंग्रेचुलेट करना चाह रही हैं। महुआ।
কনগ্রাচুলেশন শুভেন্দু বাবু।
জয় মা কালী, জয় মা কালী।
আপনাকে একটাই প্রশ্ন করছি, অনেকে অনেক প্রশ্ন করেছে। I would like to ask you that since you were the one who defeated Mamata Banerjee in Nandigram last time, and if the final results in Bhawanipur are such that you defeat her in Bhawanipur, you should be the undoubted leader and the chief ministerial candidate.
No, I am not passing this sensitive question. BJP is collective leadership under the great leadership of Narendra Modi. We fought this election and results are coming. No problem.
अच्छा शुभिमा किशलोई आपसे पूछना चाहते हैं। किशलोई।
With the consultation of the elected
Thank you.
शुभेंदु one last question.
জোড়া ইলিশ কবে আসছে?
Thank you.
জোড়া ইলিশ কবে?
চিংড়ি মাছ হবে।
হ্যাঁ জোড়া ইলিশ কবে আসছে?
Okay, we'll leave it there. I really don't want to drag my luck on this. I don't want to drag my luck on this, but that's the. अच्छा शुभेंदु दा मनोज्ञा लोईवाल आ रही है, वो आपसे बहुत कीन है पूछने के लिए। आप जाइए मत, एक मिनट रुकिए। वो काफी देर से आपके कैंपेन को ट्रैक कर रही है, भागते हुए आ रही है, हमारे हिंदी स्टूडियो से दौड़ते हुए आ रही, कह रही मुझे भी बात करनी है। मनोज्ञा लोईवाल, शुभेंदु अधिकारी।
दादा नमस्कार।
गिरा मत देना मेरे लैपटॉप को। Go on.
কালকে বলেছিলেন 190 প্লাস হবে। अच्छा आपको मैं आपका राहुल एक बड़ी
Go on.
कल हमारी जो बात हुई थी तो आपने कहा था कि जो आंकड़े हैं वही रहेंगे। क्या मैं भावी मुख्यमंत्री से बात कर रही हूँ शुभेंदु?
वो नहीं, सवाल का जवाब नहीं दे रहे। और कुछ पूछो।
और कुछ पूछे तो मुझे ये बताइए आज की खाबेन झालमुड़ी ना माछेर झोल?
How will you celebrate?
all झालमुड़ी माछेर झोल with रसगुल्ला।
ओ बाबा,
ये थोड़ा रसगुल्ला हमको भी भेज देना आफ्टर विनिंग इन दिस फैशन। इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट।
चलिए now counting is going.
खाली एक आखिरी सवाल, शिशिर बाबू से बात हुई, उन्होंने क्या बोला? शिशिर बाबू इज हिज फादर।
No, my father is always blessed me.
ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट दादा, शाम को फिर बात होगी।
Thank you very much and many congratulations. Shubhendu Adhikari joining us there live and exclusive on NDTV Shiv. This is probably the first time I've done a live quite of this kind, but I'm glad it worked out. That's
I've seen something like this
yeah,
as well on
I'm glad it worked out.
The great thing is that he's finally looking happy and relaxed through this entire campaign. Wherever he went, you had the Trinamool Congress cadre shouting Jai Bangla, Chor Chor at him, and you always saw him very aggressive, very angry.
When he's cheerful.
Yeah, this was him relaxed. So you should have seen the campaign.
What did you make, Veer, of that conversation and the posturing from potentially the next Chief Minister of West Bengal?
Being careful because others have suffered for sort of displaying ambition, so he's rightfully justifiably careful.
He was being very careful. He didn't want to outline a plan of action or whatever, because given the BJP, they may produce somebody you've never heard of and make him Chief Minister.
No, but not in West Bengal. That's
I don't think so.
It's such a big victory. You need to have a face. The face has been Shubhendu Adhikari.
I would agree with that, but I also think he was being cautious and he was still concentrating on the election. But what's clear is how much he saw it in Hindu-Muslim terms. For him, that was a victory. That there was Hindu consolidation, anger about infiltrators, anger about what he would see as appeasement, and that settled it.
Kanchan Gupta, what kind of Chief Minister is he likely to be?
If he were to become the Chief Minister finally, I think he will come up with a very packed program, and a lot of it will also be directed at showing immediate and early results. So I think he made that point when he said that Tripura and Assam have done stuff and I'm also going to do it. Look, West Bengal is way more better placed than either Assam or Tripura or Bihar by way of access to resources, access to talent, access to educational institutions, even if they are in a bad state today. So, and it has a huge educated middle class. So reviving West Bengal, getting it going, and also don't forget West Bengal's own history. You from engineers to chemists to doctors. I mean, it had a plethora of achievers. Till it all started.
Okay, I'm joined to talk about the opposition as it picks up the pieces in West Bengal and elsewhere. Yogendra Yadav joins us. Well-known political analyst, speaking very clearly in his capacity as a political analyst, not as a cephalogist, he insists. Yogendra ji, welcome. At this moment, I want to run across to the Datafy dashboard, which shows the BJP across West Bengal leading in a way that has been happening in the state since 1977, winning decisively. 193 leads for the BJP, the mighty Trinamool down to 97. What's the message, in your view, the voters of West Bengal have sent this morning?
One small correction, Rahul. I keep insisting that I'm not a political analyst or, of course, a cephalogist. I'm a political activist. You may believe it, you may not believe it. I'm a political activist and I speak in that capacity. Yes, it is certainly a very major reversal of the trends that we have seen in West Bengal so far. What is the message that we get? Normally, elections are seen to be messages of popularity, as we have seen in the case of Tamil Nadu, as is broadly the case in Assam, though not quite so. In the case of West Bengal, the massive difference that we see right now is based on about 2 to 3% difference in vote. I could be mistaken, but I've been tracking various channels to see what is the difference in vote share. It's anything between 2 to 3%. So BJP enjoys either 2 or 3% lead in terms of vote share. It's an important figure to remember. I'll just come back to that. There are 4 elements that go into the making of this historic victory. First, of course, is TMC, because in the 3 terms of TMC, there was accumulating, call it anti-incumbency, call it unease of the voter, call it anger of the voter. There has been an accumulated unease about TMC route. There is no doubt about it. Number 2 is the BJP. BJP's hard work, you could say. Also enormously targeted communal mobilization and politics of hatred. We just watched Shubhendu Adhikari's interview, and everyone must have noticed in about 15 minutes, he spoke Hindu-Muslim at least 15 times. So it is undoubtedly clearly targeted communal mobilization that BJP has done, which seems to have paid dividends to some extent. The third element is the central government, which would not simply allow a opposition government to work, whether it is the NREGA, which was not allowed to work in West Bengal, or it is the Gram Awas Yojana, which again was not allowed to work. So if you are a BJP government, you have enormous resources to spend and to gift people just before the election. You can gift them 10,000 rupees each. If you are an opposition government, you don't have resources. And the fourth element is, of course, the Election Commission, which has deleted 27 lakh names. I'm speaking only of 27 lakh, Rahul. I'm not speaking of all the 90 lakh votes, because the first stage of deletions were kind of neutral, haphazard. I would not see there was any targeting. But as has been evidently demonstrated, the last phase of deletion of 27 lakh votes was targeted communally, targeted regionally, and that, Rahul, accounts for 4.3% of votes. So when the BJP has a lead of more than 4.3%, that is when you can begin to say, okay, it's minus SIR effect. Right now, SIR effect is more than BJP's lead.
Let me show you the vote share you were asking for this. BJP is about 45.8% of the vote share, up 8% from the last time. The Trinamool is at 43, down 5% from the last time. What this also shows, Yogendraji, apart from everything else, when a party comes down 5%, it also shows the magnitude of the anti-incumbency that is built. Yes, what you're saying is partly correct in terms of SIR having a role to play, but you can't take away the massive anti-incumbency, Yogendra Yadav, that had built up over 15 years of the Trinamool rule in West Bengal.
Rahul, you probably didn't get to hear what I was saying. In fact, I began by talking about it. I said element number one is unease, anger about a government which has been there for the last 15 years. So there is an accumulated anti-incumbency, but anti-incumbency is a bit of a euphemism. I think we should call it disappointment of people, anger of people. It has, of course, played a role to play. But are we looking at one of those clean cases? For example, Tamil Nadu is a clean case. Anti-incumbency, anger with the sitting government, people are looking for an alternative, they vote that alternative. That's straightforward. In Assam, the existing government manages to retain popular support, although they are supported by artificial intervention of the delimitation. But delimitation effect and manipulation through delimitation can account for at the most 10 seats, more than that. So in Assam, BJP wins on the basis of popular support. My question is that in West Bengal, is it only popular support or anti-incumbency? You would have noticed, no doubt, Rahul, as a journalist, how many times Subhendu Adhikari spoke about Hindu-Muslim. You asked him about past Hindu-Muslim. You asked him about future plans, Hindu-Muslim. You asked him about his constituency, Hindu-Muslim. And the kind of advertisements that BJP issued in Bengal and in Assam, tell me, Rahul, in which country in the world can you allow something like that to happen?
Okay.
If that is not
Jai Mrug has a question for you.
Mobilization, what else is it?
Okay, Jai Mrug.
Professor Yadav, we've learned a lot from you, hold you in high regard. There is a data set which I'm looking at, and I would like to share that with you. The best performance of the BJP in terms of strike rates, okay, has been in the Burdwan region, 41 on 54 seats, Jalpaiguri 25 on 27, Medinipur region 49 on 56. These were below the state average in terms of SIR deletions. So are we denying BJP a fair credit that it actually gained in the state?
Whenever, Jay, if you have time, please do not look at above average or below average. I can tell you straight away, the above average places were indeed the Muslim majority places where BJP didn't have much chance anyway to begin with. The question we should be asking, and please give me an answer by the evening when you have better data, in how many seats were the deletions that took place post first draft? Because first draft deletions, I'm willing to concede, were not targeted deletions or partisan deletions. Please tell me.
Let me try and show that. Yogendraji, let me show that on our screen. I can give you not specifically what you're asking for, but on the data file leaderboard, I can show you the SIR impact. So there are two cuts I have over here. One is in the seats where there was maximum SIR deletion, is there a disproportionate distribution? There were 147 seats where the number of votes deleted by SIR is more than 25,000. Process the visualization for a moment and then you'll understand. Out of those 147, the BJP at this moment is leading on 88. the TMC on 59, which is roughly Jamru, similar to the distribution across the state. So it's not disproportionately skewed in these seats. If you look at the places where it is tight, less than 5,000, there are 13 such seats, the BJP leading on 12. So those are the seats where you can say SIR deletions has made an impact because that is skewed towards the BJP. In seats where the deletion is between 5 and 15,000 votes, there are 64 such seats, the BJP leading in 64, the Trinamool on 17. As you move up in terms of how much SIR deletion happened, the impact is not as much. Where lesser SIR deletions happened, you've got the BJP winning in a disproportionate part of those seats, 12 out of 13 with less than 5,000 SIR deletions.